Good afternoon, all. Welcome to our webinar this afternoon, Navigating City Contracting Opportunities, presented by Councilmember Heather Hutt. We are very excited to share some useful information with you all today, and we hope to inspire you. We've got some excellent presenters, and our intention is, of course, to support you in your pursuit of public contracts in the City of Los Angeles. I will just click over here to the agenda. This workshop is part of the CDAP, which is short for the Contractor Development and Bonding Program. And we are, of course, looking forward to sharing with you about this regionally sponsored program and its no cost, truly beneficial offerings. We're also excited to welcome representatives from LA City Public Works, LADWP, the Port of Los Angeles, and LAWA to share about upcoming opportunities and certifications, dedicated support, and how to effectively pursue the abundance of opportunities that our growing city has to offer. So as we move through the workshop, one thing that I will note, please feel free to submit any questions that you may have using the Q&A feature. And we have a dedicated account manager, a CDAP account manager, who will be answering the questions as we go along. If you have questions for any of the representatives that present today, please hold those until the end. We have a Q&A segment in which you can direct those questions to the different representatives. So before we get into our presentations, we are honored to have Councilmember Heather Hutt of the 10th District here with us today to kick off this afternoon's program. Councilmember Hutt, as you may know, is a lifelong Angelino. She served actually as Chief of Staff in CD10 and as the U.S. State Senate Director under Kamala Harris. And in great alignment with this program and its mission, Councilmember Hutt really is an advocate for marginalized and underserved groups in the city, and she serves as the chair of the city's Transportation Committee, where she's leading the charge on some incredible infrastructure projects, and all of that really ties perfectly into this program as we bolster small and diverse business owners in their pursuit of construction and construction-related contracting endeavors. So suffice to say, it is an honor for us to host this workshop today in partnership with Councilmember Hutt and her team. And with that, I will turn it over to you, Councilwoman Hutt.
Thank you, Christy. I appreciate that so much. And welcome everybody to our 10th District Small Business Training Session. I'm happy that you're here with us today. And I'm excited to give our businesses in the 10th District and close around a chance to learn more about how to prepare for the many business opportunities that are happening in our city. Our office is coordinated with 3D Networks and multiple city department leaders to give you a crash course on how to secure public contracts in the city of Los Angeles. Our goal is that you walk away from the session on knowing how to participate in regional contractor development and bonding program, the CDAP. What contracting opportunities are available in different departments within the city, and how to secure financing and bonding to bid on the city contracts. I want to thank all the partners here today, our partners at 3D Networks and the Meriwether Williams, the Port of Los Angeles, the Los Angeles World Airports, the Los Angeles Department of Public Works, the Department of Water and Power, our partners at the Regional Contractors Development and Bonding Program, along with the staff from all those departments that made sure that you got the information to be able to participate today, and especially my staff for doing the good work to make sure that there is equity in CD10. So make sure you take really good notes. And remember what Christy said in the beginning, you can ask questions during, and then if they are specific to departments, ask the other questions, but do the old-fashioned thing and get some paper and a pen out and write down your questions or take good notes so that you'll be able to circle back and get the answers so that you're the next big business, not small business. Thank you so much. And I should probably say I'm going to jump off in like 45 minutes because I have to get to my next meeting, but I want to be here for the beginning. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for your support of the program, Councilmember Hutt, and for getting us off to an excellent start. So with that, we will get right to it. We have Carlos Ray. He is the Client and Community Relations Manager for the program that's brought us all here today, really, the Regional Contractor Development and Bonding Program, CDAP. And Carlos is here to share about the many, many offerings, including bid alerts, training workshops, one-on-one support, and so on and so on. And I will hand it over to Carlos. Welcome.
Thank you, Christy. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with my camera, but hopefully you guys can still hear me. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I'll keep going, and I'm sure it'll come on in just a second. But as mentioned, my name is Carlos Ray, so I'm here to go over a little bit about the City of LA Contractor Development and Bonding Program. So we'll get into the first slide. So a little bit about Meriwether and Williams. We are a full-service property and casualty employee benefits, retirement, personal lines insurance brokerage firm. We do quite a bit of a lot. We are a subsidiary of Hub International Company, who some of you may be familiar with. So that's how we are able to offer a lot of our services. We specialize in aligned risk management with specialty programs, including safety and loss prevention. We're probably most known for here, at least in the state of California, for our bonding and technical assistance and contract financing programs, which we do up and down the state, and also in Charlotte, North Carolina. And through those programs, we've been able to help contractors obtain bonds on over $100 billion in bond transactions with less than a tenth of a percent loss ratio. So what that basically boils down to is we know that contractors are looking for work and they can do the work. They just need help in other areas to help them be successful. That's basically what all of that boils down to. So that's a little bit about who Meriwether and Williams is. Next slide. All right, so a little bit about our program purpose and mission. I usually read this verbatim because I think it speaks to the heart of what this program does. And it's to reduce the barriers of bonding capacity, enabling greater and successful participation of small, local, minority women and disabled veteran-owned businesses and public contract opportunities. Basically, what we try to do is help small businesses who are looking for opportunities have an even playing field to some of the larger businesses, excuse me. So that's helping you understand, the contract and different things and so all the services that I'm about to get into. We do this what we call the four pillars of contractor development, excuse me. And I'll go through them, which are assessment, technical assistance, bonding, contract financing and project assistance, education, training and contract support, and prime contractor partnerships. We'll go to the next slide and I'll explain what all of those are as we keep moving. So just to start off with some bonding basic information. What is bonding? Bonding is a three-party agreement that guarantees that a contract gets completed. It usually protects the other party, not you, and you cannot purchase it. You have to qualify for it. Unlike insurance, you can purchase insurance. You can't purchase bonding. You have to qualify. And unlike insurance, it anticipates or expects no losses. So it guarantees that that contract that you agreed upon will get completed. And so why are we talking about bonding? Bonding is mandated by law on all public works projects. So anything you're doing with the city of LA, a city LA project, it's going to be mandatory most likely. So federal, you can cite the Hurd Acts of 1894 and Miller Act of 1935. And then at the local and state level, they'll be called Little Miller Acts. And it varies by state what those qualifications are, but each state and each local municipality will have their own laws on, what that looks like. Like I said, it ensures the owner receives the finished product at the price that you negotiated. It ensures everyone gets paid. That's a part of the project. And what's cool about it too is it can act as a pre-qualification instrument. So for your ability. So as your company grows and you start growing your bonding capacity, you have a larger bonding capacity. You can have a track record of the different types of projects you worked on. So let's just say you might start at $100,000 in bonds, and then you might get up to $1 million. But through from that 100,000 to the million, you might hit different levels. And so when you're going after the bigger projects, you can kind of use that as your track record and say, hey, we worked on these types of projects, and the dollar amount just kept increasing. So that's what that is describing there. Next slide. So some of the program services we offer, I mentioned bonding. We kind of talked about what bonding was. So if you don't have bonding or you're not sure what it is, we can help you with that. If you have bonding and you're like, you know what, I've been at this level for so long and I just need help increasing it. I want to do bigger projects and grow my company. We can help you with that and increasing or obtaining your bonding capacity. We help you with contractor development through a lot of different things and helping you build capacity with technical services. We offer the contract-based finance program, which I'll get into a little in a few slides. So what's cool about this program is that when you enroll, you get a dedicated account manager. We call them contractor development managers. What I describe to people is this is not a cookie cutter program. So your experience is going to be catered to your business. And so you'll meet with that person, and that person will be almost like helping you with your business development. You'll talk about the different types of projects you're looking for, who you want to work with, all those different things. And so they'll be your advocate, your go-to person for information and just how to get involved in projects with the city. So that person is going to be super important when you enroll in the program. We offer agency collateral support, do different types of bids, or whether it's a bid or performance and payment bonds to those who qualify. Again, there's that word qualify. You have to qualify for bonding. And then accounting cost subsidy is $3,200 that we offer. So if sometimes you might be asked to have CPA prepare financial statements, whether it's in response to, your bonding or some project, we have a one-time cost subsidy that you could use as a part of this program to help offset some of those costs, as we know that sometimes they can be expensive. And then the last thing is the weekly bid opportunities that we offer, that we send out on behalf of the city, that different projects that are coming up, we'll send them to you. We have what we call our LACW, which is our weekly newsletter that we send out every Wednesday at 2 p.m. that has all the project solicitations listed there. You can go there and see them on Ramp as well, but we have them all in one place. And we also do what we call targeted bid alerts. And so we often will go through Ramp and send out bid alerts directly to the contractors who qualify or meet those license requirements. And so that's just another way that we can help you identify projects that you may be qualified for and want to pursue. Next slide. All right. So assessment and work plan. I mentioned when you get your account manager, their first meeting, they're going to do an assessment and help you develop a work plan. So that assessment is questions about your businesses, the type of contracts you want to go after, where you are, what certifications you have or may not have. Do you need help with finding a CPA or legal or anything like that? They'll go through that assessment with you. And you'll also talk about, where you want to see your company maybe in 5 years. And so from that meeting, they'll develop what we call a work plan. That work plan will have a checklist of everything that you need to get started. So no matter where your business is, and you're saying, hey, I want to work with the city, I want to work with Public Works, I want to work with LADWP or whoever it might be at the city, that work plan will be targeted to your goals that you stated in that assessment meeting. So if you need certification, we can help you with that, but it'll be there, like, how you get certification and where you go to do that. Or if you need, more training or education, we'll have opportunities for that as well. Also, one thing we do that's really great is a contractor profile. So this is a one-sheet marketing page, front and back, that has all your business information, your contact information, your license. It'll have, like I mentioned, your bond history. It'll have that there. It'll have some recent projects that you worked on. And it'll really allow you to showcase your business in the best light. So that's something you can use when you go to different conferences or summits, or you can even send it out via email. If say you meet somebody and you want to send them some information about your business, you can use that as well. So that's something that we create for you. I mentioned we are able to assist with certifications. We do bid document review. So when you're ready to submit a bid, you'll sit with your account manager and they'll go through the bid with you and talk to you about it and make sure that you have everything that you need to have completed. Then we have contract completion support, which I'll go through in just a little bit. And then other things we do is what we're really big on is just education and training. So we do monthly workshops. We do one a month. I think this month we have coming up on the last Tuesday of this month called about safety. So talking about safety and making sure that we're operating safe work sites. So we have a safety expert on our team who's actually going to teach that class. We do coaching on different topics. So sometimes we have colleagues on our staff who have years and years of project management experience at the large GC level, at the small business level. So sometimes they may say, hey, you know what? I want to just do office hours. So I'll just have a Zoom link open and I'll invite contractors in. They can just come ask me anything about, what they're working on, if they have questions. So we just offer different coaching opportunities there. And then what we do also is coach construction training academy. So we'll do bidding and estimating and contract award and management. And so these are 5 week long academies, one time per week, where we do a deep dive into bidding and estimating, let's just say with the city of LA. That's usually the first one we do every year. We talk about each step of what it takes to put together a successful bid and estimate of a project. And so what's cool about these is that we put you in a group with other contractors who are in the same boat or wanting to learn as well. We'll put you in a group and you'll actually work on a mock bid. So you'll take that bid and you'll use it as you're learning each step of bidding and estimating. And at the end, you'll actually submit it. You'll work in your group and you'll actually submit a bid. So there's like due dates in there, there's timelines and things you have to have done just like you would a real bid. And so you get that real time, real experience as you're learning on how to submit the bid. So that's one of the awesome things that we offer. And then we have a prime partnership. So we work with a lot of the larger GCs in the area who some people may be subs to. We'll work with them to create partnerships and opportunities for you guys to network. They'll often reach out to us to say, hey, we're going after this project and we need, I'm just going to use an example, we need people that do drywall. And so we might send them a list of drywall contractors, or they might say, hey, you know what, we want to come talk to you guys about our pre-qualification because we have a bunch of things coming up and we want to make sure we have a lot of people in our database so we can have give them opportunities to get work. And so we do a lot of things with a lot of the larger GCs in the area. Next slide, please. All right, so this is the contractor development financing program that I mentioned earlier. So what it does is almost acts like a short-term loan. So once you get started on a project and you need help just getting started until your funds start coming in, this can serve in that area. So just a few things just to note about it. You have to be enrolled in this program for the contractor development and bonding program first off, and you have to be a small business. Those are two of the qualifications. And what you want to do is what we encourage everybody to do is to work with us and pre-qualify for this before you actually bid. So if you know something is coming up and you want to be prepared for that and you feel like this is something you may need to utilize, you want to work with us before that. Just because it involves getting financial information all in order, and that can take some time. So let's just say you get awarded a project, but you wait until you get awarded, now you're putting yourself behind the eight ball, if you will, because now you're up against time. Whereas if you start before, you can be prepared so that in the event that you are awarded, you already have everything in order and you can utilize this program. It only applies to construction contracts, so that's the only thing that we can use it for. And then we only allocated funds for the approved project only. So if let's just say you have one contract with the city and you have another one with someone else, you can't use the funds for a different contract. It can only be with the one contract. So the loan amounts usually go to a max of 250,000 per project. So there is instances where you can work with us to get pre-qualified for multiple loans, but they would just be one per project. We use third-party funds administration, so we help you with that. The interest rate, I believe, right now is at 9.5. So that's very competitive, and some things that are great about this, it can help you boost your credit score. We do a 2-day workshop before you even get started on the whole process of learning cash flow, how you'll make money off the project. We go through everything that will be part of this program if you use it. So you know exactly what you're getting into, what you're agreeing to, all of that good stuff. So that's a great part about it. And then what this also does is help you get set up for future capital from a traditional lender, like one of your local banks or something of that nature. So it's a really great program. I'm always say like, hey, if you know something you're going to do, like I said before, work with us before you get awarded a project. That's the best way I can describe it. So that way you have time and everything is done. So when you do get that award, you're not rushing to pull everything together. And then you might find out like, oh, you know what? Actually, I don't need this, or maybe I don't qualify right now, or something may happen. So you want to just leave yourself some time to get all that stuff together. Next slide. All right, so I mentioned bid document review. So what we do as far as helping you with bid document review, one thing we do a lot of, and some of you have may seen some of my colleagues at some pre-bids, we'll attend pre-bid meetings with you. So we'll go and get an understanding of what the project is. We'll do contract review with you, so we'll review the plans and specs. We'll help you identify risks. We'll help you identify the required documents that you have to submit in order for your bid to even be considered. And then we'll do a final bid document review. So that's where we'll go through the checklist, make sure you have all your I's dotted and T's crossed. The one thing we don't do is authorize, we don't recommend numbers as far as pricing, like, hey, you're too high or too low, or you should put this number, only because that we leave that up to you because that could be a reason you may or may not get the project, and we can't be held liable for that. So we don't do that, but we do everything else as far as making sure you're responsive. And then we'll do a post-bid debrief. So we can say, hey, you got awarded. Let's see what we did right. Or hey, you didn't get awarded. Let's see where we went wrong. Were you too high? Were you too low? Did we not include something? Something like that. But it's still on you as the contractor who's putting the bid together and whose company it is to make sure that everything you're submitting all the documents that are required and your price is competitive. That's up to you. We're just here as a tool to help and as a knowledge tool to help you put your bid together. Next slide. And then contract completion. So let's say you got awarded a project. What we'll do is we have project managers on staff who actually will meet with you and the owner. We'll talk about the project. We'll have a project kickoff meeting. We'll talk about the job start checklist. We'll talk about your schedule and everything that you're responsible for, so you know where you fall in the schedule and making sure you stay on schedule, those types of things. And then we do status reports regularly. We'll do contract and principal status reports. So we'll do monthly check-ins, help you with any billing and payment issues that may be there. I mentioned this construction schedule, so if there's any lags ahead of you, or there's something wrong on your end of the project that may be holding up the schedule, we'll help you work through that. We'll even do site visits, so we'll come out to the site, making sure like it's safe. If you have any questions, you need help kind of communicating with the owner or the person you're working with, we'll help you with that. And then we'll help you with change orders as well. So we have a lot of services as far as helping you get the contract completed successfully. That's ultimately what we want to see. We know you guys can do the work. There just may be some administrative things and other things that you may need assistance with. So that's what we're here for. Next slide. So that's it. So that is the program in a nutshell. We have a lot of services and resources that we have available to everyone that's enrolled. Um, I always get these questions like, Carlos, this sounds great. What do I do? I want to get enrolled today. Where do I put my credit card information? Can you send me the link? And I always say, this is no cost program. You don't pay anything. We don't need your credit card link. All the workshops, all the services that we offer are free, with the exception of the contract financing assistance program. That is the only thing you'll ever pay because, like I said, it is a short-term loan, so there is, you do have to pay that back. But you'll work with the contract financing team, and they'll determine that schedule and all that. But other than that, everything else, there's no cost. So hope to see you guys join and see you at one of our workshops or events or something that we do in the future. Please take advantage of it. The city put this program here for you to be successful and be participating in all of this work that's coming up with everything we have going on coming up in Los Angeles. So here's our contact information there. If you have any questions or looking to get enrolled, please utilize it. And thank you all for your time this afternoon.
Yeah, thank you so much, Carlos. It really is a win-win. Thank you for sharing about the program. And before we move on to the department presenters, oops, I spoke too soon. Before we move on to the department presenters, I have a poll question that I'm going to launch. Let's see here. And we'll just give you a minute to answer. So please um, go ahead and put your answers in, and I'll let you know when we have 30 seconds left. Thirty seconds. Great. Thank you all so much for your feedback. And just a quick reminder, after the workshop, we will provide you with a follow-up email that'll come out with the full slide deck and, of course, information on how to enroll in the program if you're not yet enrolled. So stay tuned for that. And let me close this. And here we go. Next up, we have Hannah Ali, who is here on behalf of the Department of Public Works Bureau of Contract Administration to speak about the many beneficial certifications and how to apply and take advantage of those in your pursuit of contracts with the City of LA, specifically with Public Works. So welcome, Hannah.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Hannah Ali, and I am a management analyst with BCA under the Department of Public Works. I'll be giving an overview of the certification programs the city offers, which fall under different categories. Next slide. So the first category of certifications are ownership-based certifications. So here we have the Minority Business Enterprise, MBE, Women Business Enterprise, WBE, Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, DBE, Airport Concessions Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, ACDBE, and the Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise through LAWA, Los Angeles World Airports. So it's important to note that the last two are with one of the proprietary departments, with LAWA. And for this category, the certification holder must belong to one of the presumed disadvantaged groups for which that certification is named, as well as possess the licenses and/or credentials that are required to conduct the firm's business. So owners must have 51% ownership and control. So for example, a spouse cannot apply for a certification if they do not hold the credentials specific to running that business. Next slide. The second category we have is our location-based certifications. And that includes businesses that are headquartered in LA County. We have the LBE, the Local Business Enterprise, the LSB, the Local Small Business, and the LTE, the Local Transitional Employer. For the LSB, the previous year's gross income cannot exceed 5 million, so just note that. Next slide. The last category of certifications are recognition-based certifications. So these recognition-based certifications are administered by other agencies that the City of LA recognizes. So that includes agencies like CalDGS. So for those certifications, we have the SBE proprietary, the SBE LA, Emerging Business Enterprise, and the Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise, as well as the LGBTE certification, which is certified by the National LGBTE Chamber of Commerce. So if you hold one of these certifications from any of these agencies, you must notify our team for it to be applied to your RAMP account. Next slide. How to apply. So applications that are listed in the first column must be printed and submitted by mail with required documentation. And all other applications are online and or available via RAMP LA. Next slide. For more information, you may visit our website listed, and any questions may be directed to our email, bca.certifications@lacity.org. Thank you for your time and attention.
Yeah, thank you so much, Hannah. It's wonderful that the city offers so many diverse avenues for certification and support for our small and diverse contractors. So that is great, and we're going to keep moving along. Up next, we have Julie Wang from the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power Supplier Diversity Office, here to share about doing business with DWP and what those opportunities look like and what is upcoming. So I will hand it over to you, Julie.
Hi, can you hear me now? Sorry.
Yes.
Hi, good. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Julie Hong. I'm from the Supplier Diversity Office at Los Angeles Department of Water and Power. I'm going to go over some business opportunities that are upcoming for DWP today. Next slide, please. So, next slide. Okay. So just a little bit of an overview about LADWP. We're the largest municipal water and power utility in the nation, and we serve over 4 million residents and businesses in Los Angeles. Over in 2024, we were awarded over $1 billion in contracts for goods and services. Next slide, please. So what we buy a lot of materials and equipment, and we also have a lot of public works and construction projects. We also award a lot of solicitations for professional services and other miscellaneous services. Next slide, please. So in order for us to solicitate, to buy these services, we use two different methods for competitive solicitation. And one is the invitation for bid. The other one is the request for proposals. For the invitation for bid, it's usually the low bid price is the determining factor for invitation for bids, as long as you're the most responsive and responsible low bid. For the request for proposals, it's usually they have specific evaluation criteria that determine the factors for awarding that solicitation. Okay, next slide, please. So in order to participate in LADWP bids or solicitations, you must first register in RAMP LA and ERSP for LADWP. So RAMP LA will give you all of the City of Los Angeles Department's bidding opportunities. And if you do see a opportunity that pertains to LADWP that you are interested in bidding in, you will have to click on the link in RAMP to take you to ERSP, and there you would also have to create your own profile and register in ERSP to see the bid documents and to bid. ERSP is where you're going to submit all of your bidding documents as well. So if you're interested in LADWP contracts, make sure to register for both RAMP LA and ERSP. In RAMP, you'll be able to view any open contracting opportunities. And in ERSP, you'll be able to download all the documents and submit your bids online. Okay. Next slide, please. So for the majority of LADWP bid solicitations, there is a component for the Small Business Enterprise Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise Participation Program. It applies to most contracts over $150,000 for services, construction, and rentals with operators. And a contract-specific mandatory SBE and or DV participation requirement is set as a percentage of the contract. And bidders who do not meet that minimum mandatory SBE DVB participation requirement will be deemed non-responsive. So make sure to check in your solicitations what the minimum mandatory requirement will be. For LADWP's overall annual goal, it's 25% SBE participation and 3% DVB participation. Okay, next slide, please. So in order to get a head start and look at what are the upcoming opportunities before it hits RAMP LA, LADWP posts a supply line newsletter that will give you an 18-month look ahead of all the upcoming opportunities within the next 18 months. And it's a quarterly newsletter. So the latest one is an April version. There should be a new one coming up soon. So please make sure to check back. But it will give you a target date that is well ahead of the opening of the bid in RAMP LA. So you can kind of get a head start and see if there's any opportunities that you're interested in before it even hits RAMP LA. Okay. Next slide, please. So some of the upcoming projects that we have, this one is the LA Reservoir Outline Pipe new coating installation. This contract is anticipated to be estimated at $2.5 million, and it's anticipated to be advertised in RAMP LA in July of 2025. So this one is a relining of 1,000 linear feet of 120-inch diameter pipe. So if you're interested in that, that should be released in July. Okay. Next slide, please. The next project is the Western Trunk Line Phase 1. It's estimated at $70 million, and it's anticipated to be advertised in the summer of 2025. So this project replaces approximately 23,000 feet of riveted steel, concrete, and welded steel pipes with 36-inch and 54-inch welded steel pipes and earthquake-resistant ductile iron pipes. Okay, next slide, please. So the next project is going to be the groundwater well drilling services. And this one is anticipated to be advertised in the summer of 2025 as well. This one includes as needed professional and construction services to provide new groundwater monitoring, production, and injection of wells primarily in the San Fernando Valley and central and south central portions of the city of Los Angeles area. And there's also, it also includes some of the surrounding areas outside of the city of Los Angeles limits. Okay. Next slide, please. So if you have any questions regarding the supply line or the small business DVB program, please make sure to contact us at the Supply Diversity Office, or you can contact Vendor Liaison Services for LADWP. If you have any bid-specific questions, they will be able to help you out. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Julie. Just a reminder, if you have any questions for Julie or for Hannah or our next two speakers, just stick around till the end and we will have a Q&A portion where you can address questions to the panelists. We will keep moving along. Next up, we have Angela Ragusa from the Port of Los Angeles here to speak about a lot of exciting happenings and upcoming projects at the port and how to get involved with those. Welcome, Angela.
Thank you. Whenever you have the slides ready. There you go. My name is Angela Ragusa. I'm a civil engineer at the Port of Los Angeles in our engineering division. Again, like was already stated, we also use RAMP for registration for bidders, subs, vendors, everything else. Go ahead. So I'm just going to go over the upcoming projects here at the Port of Los Angeles. We have two that are currently out to bid, opening bids soon, and then 5 more that are going to be advertising this summer. The first one, next slide, is the Harbor Administration Building HVAC replacement. Involves the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning HVAC system replacement for our administration building, consisting of all major components, including built-up air handling system, variable air volume boxes, refrigeration, heat rejection systems, building management control systems, and a portion of building ductwork. Will also provide the necessary new chilled water system and replacement AC units for the critical 24/7 facilities and a new non-gas boiler plant. Approximate construction cost estimate is $14.1 million with an with bid opening next week, actually. Next slide. This is our 2025 marine improvements project consisting of marine construction work and improvements to be performed on an on-call basis as needed and determined by the department. Includes wharf demolition and removal work, furnishing concrete piles, concrete pile removals, pile driving, wharf repair, rubber marine fenders, dredging, riprap and quarry run work, shotcrete application, sheet steel piles, timber pile removals, timber pile driving, wharf repair, pile wraps, as well as in geotextiles and geomembranes, excavating, characterizing and disposing of contaminated and hazardous soil, trench excavation, backfill, asphalt concrete paving, and other improvements. It advertised June 6th, which was last week, and will be opening July 24th, 2025. You can see here some subcontracting opportunities, and the construction cost estimate is $30.3 million. The next project is our Terminal Island Facilities Demolition and Improvements. Consists of 5 separate sites, including demolition of various steel, wood, and concrete warehouses, buildings, structures, and other miscellaneous items in addition to lead and asbestos abatement. Work also includes the construction of a storm drain system, grading, paving, electrical work, disposal of hazardous waste, and fencing. Other subcontracting opportunities include concrete, asphalt concrete paving, electrical, storm drain fencing, and hazardous waste cleanup, Project is anticipated to advertise later this month with an approximate construction cost estimate of $19.6 million. Next slide. The Port-wide leak detection expansion program will also be advertising in July next month with a construction cost estimate of $3.5 million, and includes the reconstruction of existing water backflow assemblies to install smart meters and gateway collectors at various terminals throughout the Port of Los Angeles. Next slide is our berths 49 to 51 Outer Harbor Cruise Terminal. Consists of construction of new 11 kV amp system for cruise ships at berths 49 to 51. Construction of a new LADWP 34.5 kV industrial station, new 34.5 switchgear, new 18 MVA transformer, 11 kV amp switchgear, 11 kV wharf amp outlets, and an 11 kV amp mobile cable management for cruise ship connections. This project also requires the extension of a new LADWP 34.5 kV circuit through existing LADWP underground conduit. There's also wharf structural amp, landside structural amp support, concrete wharf repairs, hybrid fender, backing panel, including steel pipe piles and timber piles, new foam-filled fendering system, utilities including water line and sewer connections, civil improvements to improve pedestrian and vehicular access, safety and security for cruise customers and operations, and site removals. Approximate construction cost estimate is $57.3 million, and tentative advertised date is July of 2025. Next one is our berths 167, 169 Marine Oil Terminal, Engineering and Maintenance Standards Phase 2 at Shell Oil Terminal. Consists of replacing current 2 berth structures with a single structure at berth 167 and demolishing the existing timber wharf and replacing the structure with a new concrete loading platform, construction of access trestle, mooring dolphins, and steel catwalks. Other subcontracting opportunities include installation of steel pipe piles, chain link fencing, electrical, and rubber fenders. Construction cost estimate is $10 million and advertising in August of 2025. And the last one is our Avalon Pedestrian Bridge and Promenade Gateway. This project consists of construction of concrete cable supported pedestrian bridge and promenade gateway over existing rail tracks and development of 12 acres of visitor serving open space with amenities. Work also includes installation of pre-stressed concrete pile foundations, retaining wall, architectural features and finishes, site demolition and removals, grading, surcharge, landscaping, hardscaping, construction of restrooms, lighting, striping, signage, parking lots, and play area. Approximate construction cost estimate is $54 million, and it will be advertising in September of 2025. Next slide. These are some helpful links to have access to our bid opportunities, how we do business at the port with our RAMP, our Small Business Enterprise Program, and our Local Business Preference Program. If you have any questions, I will be here till the end. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Angela. It's always nice to share with our contractors a well-rounded presentation of different opportunities, which leads us into our last but certainly not least presenter, Sophia Cavalli from LAWA. So Sophia's here to share about the different opportunities at the airport, and I will hand it over to you. Welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're excited to be here today sharing some opportunities. So I'll first start by saying this is a very exciting time here at the airport. We have a $30 billion capital improvement program, which is well underway. And as we are looking to prepare for the Olympics, top of mind for us is not only what we're building at the airport, whether it's new facilities or updating existing facilities, but it's also how we're doing it, and that we're building and moving forward with our program in a manner that includes the local community, whether it's local businesses, whether it's local workers, or of course, even the workforce of tomorrow with local students. Next slide, please. So this slide captures our economic impact team. So this team that I'm a part of is exclusively focused on inclusivity and workforce development. So what does that mean? We are monitoring all kinds of activities We are looking to partner with industry. We're looking to build capacity, and we're integrating and incorporating best practices and tracking everything that we're doing along the way real time. We also have data that we're capturing, and that data goes all the way up to our board of commissioners and our CEO on a pretty regular basis. So we're part of the team that's really championing that forward and tracking it and keeping that top of mind and having all of that relevant information for everyone here at the airport. Next slide, please. So I want to capture here just some high level. You can see that we've got a number of major programs, and LAWA's program is the industry's largest and most complex capital improvement program. So under these various buckets, which include the Terminal Development Program, the Airport Development Program, the LAX Wayfinding Program, the Landslide Access Modernization Program, many of you have probably been hearing about the Automated People Mover, which we're excited will be coming online next year. We have the Airfield and Terminal Modernization Program, and then lastly, the LAX Landscape Program. Now, the next slide captures what we're looking at, again, in anticipation to be operational by 2028 in time for the Olympics. So again, the three various buckets here are the terminals, the landslide projects, the airside taxiway, and runways. Next slide, please. So this next slide here captures, as we're moving forward, again, I mentioned it's important not only that we're building out our program, but how we're doing that. So one of the things that we're asking all of our major partners is that they have to put together a plan. So they're submitting and they're getting scored on that. And so all of those plans include things like the XBE participation. They have to develop or certainly launch a mentor protege program. We're tracking prompt payment, where they're making sure that they're committing that they're going to do that and how they're going to track it, building capacity of small businesses. And then also here at the airport, for those of you that might be new, the airport does have a project labor agreement. And to that end, we also have a pre-apprenticeship program, readiness program that prepares individuals that might not otherwise have access to a program to get them ready for the industry, which feeds into our PLA agreement requiring 30% local worker participation. So we're very proud of that. Again, for those of you that would like to explore first-term apprentices that are ready when they graduate, it's a very rigorous process. They graduate with CPR and OSHA certification. So again, wonderful program, and I invite you to explore that, and I can certainly share that information with you. As I already mentioned, we have local worker hiring requirements, and we ask our partners to be very thoughtful about how they're going to maximize all opportunities. Also, internships for local students. And then LAWA has our own Impact LAX youth program where we're engaging industry and we're going into schools. Last year, we reached over 2,000 students. This year, we're probably going to exceed that quite a bit. So again, always partnering with industry to, again, hit the, our three areas of focus: local businesses, local workers, and then local students. Next slide, please. So this slide here really captures what we were just speaking to around the local worker participation. So as you can see to the right, we've got over 90,000 workers overall working on LAWA projects. 30% of those workers were local workers. We have local hours falling around, again, very, very large numbers. So we're tracking this, as I already mentioned, all, on sometimes a weekly, bi-monthly, and certainly very frequently. It goes all the way to our CEO. And next slide, please. So the moment you've been waiting for, contracting opportunities. So these are contracts that have already been awarded. So again, I invite you to reach out to me because I can put you in contact with any one of these individuals on any one of these projects. The last item there, various MATOC projects, we're going to talk about that in depth, which is moving on to the next slide, is going to illustrate our MATOC construction design build sub opportunities. So every single one of the firms that you see on here is part of the overall $5 billion allotment for this multiple award task order contract. So The firms, 31 firms that were awarded, are in different buckets in terms of large, medium, small. And the next slide captures some of our projects. You can see some of them have already been issued as far as RFI requests. So those 31 firms are the only firms that are eligible on each one of these opportunities. And that gets whittled down on a project by project, task order by project, task order basis. The next slide also has some additional projects that you can see. So again, all the way out through January of 2026, LAWA is moving fast and furious to be ready for the Olympics. So we have a lot of activity. And the next slide captures some, so you can see here visually some specific projects and the firms that were invited to attend. So for example, the T5 renovation and reconstruction project, which is a design build at 1.3 billion, 3 firms were invited to submit and certainly compete to win that opportunity. So Hensel Phelps was successful enough to do that. Now, again, I invite you to reach out to me because we have a specific web page that we've developed that has very current information on the MATOC, and it's being updated on a consistent basis. So I'll share that link with you. And then I will also share information with you about each one of those 31 firms and their small business contact. So the next slide has my contact information. So again, I invite you to send me an email. If you have any specific questions about a given project that was already referenced there, then you would email TDG Procurement. Also encourage you to sign up through our database and you'll get notifications about upcoming small business opportunities as far as networking with large primes, etc. So thank you and wishing you all every success.
Yeah, Sophia, thank you so much. And thank you to all of our presenters today. Before we move on to our final Q&A segment, we actually have a short recorded testimonial from a CDAP contractor. So this is a testimonial from Juan Garcia of PG Cutting Services.
My name is Juan Garcia. I'm the owner and CEO of PG Cutting Services. So we've attended several workshops, estimating workshops, bonding workshops. Every now and then we'll get an invitation from the City of LA's bonding program. And every time that we do, we attend. First and foremost, the program allowed us to create a capability statement, which we didn't have. And it made us realize how we can introduce our company to our potential clients. The program also put us in a database that allowed us to have more exposure until we started working with the program and started getting the exposure and getting on these bigger projects. Then we had a need and the program allowed us or helped us actually get our first performance bond. Through that, we've been able to get on the higher profile projects. Since we've been involved with the program, we've been able to grow and that has resulted in creating more jobs. I would say we've created 10 new jobs in the last 2 years as a result of the program. The program is there to help us, to help all small contractors. It's free of charge because the city is doing this to help small business. It works. And I understand everybody's time is valuable, so is mine. And I've invested the time and the payoff has been tremendous. It's very important for us to have the city and Metro and other agencies like the county and the airport invest in programs like this to help contractors like us. So I just want to say to the city of Los Angeles and the program, thank you for doing this. It's helped our business. I'm sure it's helped other businesses, and I'm sure it'll continue to help other businesses in the future.
Okay. So we have made it to our Q&A segment. I will turn it over to our dedicated account manager, Renata Torres, and she will read off any questions that may have been entered into the chat. You can go ahead and enter some now if you have any for our speakers. And I'll ask the speakers to please unmute yourself and turn on your camera so that the attendees can see you and your name and direct the question towards you. And then go ahead and unmute yourself, sorry, when it's time to answer.
Thank you, Christy. So I have one question currently on the chat, and this is for the Port of Los Angeles. And the question says, do these port projects RFPs include civil engineering services or just construction?
These are just for construction. Just for construction. They're just contracts for bidding.
Thank you. And as of right now, we have no questions. So if any of our attendees would like to type in their questions, yes, so the presentation will be sent out to all of our attendees today.
Okay, so we'll just give that a moment. And then also, if you have any questions after the fact, please feel free to type those in or reach out and we will get, I see one question popping up here.
Yes, so this question is from Desiree. I know if I'm signed up for CDAP. So you can definitely send us an email with your contact information and we can look through our database if you have already enrolled. If so, then we can connect you with your contractor development manager. However, if you are not yet enrolled at that time, we will go ahead and provide you with an enrollment form. And then there's another question saying, will this recording be available? Christy, will the recording be available or just the slides?
The recording will be available as well. So just stay tuned if you've registered for and joined the workshop, or if you are on our mailing list, if you get the LA Contractor Weekly or anything like that, then you'll get it as well. So everyone will get the full slide deck, the link to the recording, and any other documents that come out for upcoming workshops that we have going on.
Okay, so I have another question. Not sure what department it's towards to, but I'll go ahead and read it. For the community engagement related task, are these going to be polling services included? They're usually built into marketing services, but it's a separate professional service. Is someone able to answer that question for us?
Okay, so I suppose that we could say that's a great question to direct towards your CDM when you start working with someone in the program. It's definitely a good place to ask these types of questions, just generally about each different department, and the program serves metro and county as well, so they'll help you navigate that.
Thank you, Christy. Another question here is, any specific programs that you have for companies offering professional translation or interpretation services? To get started with your programs, how can we get started? Who is the contact person / information?
So I
So-
think that that's probably a CDAP directed question. And in the follow-up correspondence that we send, we will send the link to the enrollment. So you're welcome to enroll in the program to find out what sort of subcontracting opportunities and other opportunities there are available.
We do have another question. Are we able to put the application link on the chat? I'll go ahead and put our website, and within our website, you can find our enrollment form there. So hope that helps. And this information would also be provided to all of the attendees.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Renata.
No problem.
Okay, so with that, I think we will wrap up today's workshop. Thank you all so much for joining us. As you know, this is just one of the many offerings of the program. Really, it's just the get your feet wet sort of offering to sort of expose you to what we can do alongside you to help you in your construction contracting endeavors. So please take down this information if you'd like, or as we said, you'll receive the follow-up correspondence. And we thank you all for joining us today. And definitely thank you as well to our panelists. Thank you. Have a great evening.